watching Morning at NTV.
Happy Friday, good morning, welcome to Morning at NTV. My name is Malaki Vilodera. Today is a Friday, so let's do it differently. Let's focus on the arts. And coming this Sunday, this weekend, we will be seeing a new TV series hitting our screens. Very interesting. And before I introduce my panel, let's take a look at this.
When I was your age, I always sat with my parents and we would eat, drink, laugh, and talk about the good things that God has done for us as a family unit.
Timothy, I entered the bathroom first, so either go down or I don't know, wait. The boys in my class, they make fun of me just because I'm flat-chested.
Molly, you're not flat-chested. Did you want watermelons on your chest?
I need to know where you put her.
This is where I put her.
I need to know you.
I can't imagine leaving my job for anything. My career comes first.
Why is it that the men get to do all the speaking up they want?
Honey, you are hanging with the wrong men.
Show me your ring. I got a job.
Are you serious? I did. I got a job.
So cool. Thanks, congratulations.
That's not how I raised you. Now your wife is going to work, staying at home. What is this? Now, who is the man?
I got into a fight with Richard's wife.
What? So you are seeing a married man?
What time is this?
It's like 9:30.
Who was that?
Oh, Q dropped me off.
Q? Who's Q?
Q's my boss.
Your boss?
Yeah.
What kind of name is Q?
Oh, it's his nickname.
Oh, you even have a nickname for him.
I'm like Q's right-hand person.
And you are my wife.
And you are my wife. I love that, Batman. So in studios, I'm joined by Cleopatra Kohiri. She is, you've seen her right there. She is an actor and also a radio host here in the country. Welcome, Cleo.
Thank you so much.
Next to her is the producer and actor, Mr. Matthew Nabwisa, the one who is claiming the wife. Eh? Yeah, you are my wife. I love that part. So let's get this off. Hashtag family. Why family? You are the producer. Why did you think of all things, focusing on the family?
I think I got the inspiration from the way we are looking at family being family values today. You will find that so many people will argue that there's no more family values.
Right.
And I felt like that was, as a filmmaker, that is a gap that needs to be filled. So we thought of looking at the things that, the drama that happens in the family, the challenges, the issues. I mean, we get to meet when we are old and we are coming from different backgrounds. Maybe you are Catholic, I'm Muslim, you are from the East, she's from the West, and there's that culture clash and the upbringing. Some men are old school, women are new school. I'm thinking the old school way. But how do we be able to fuse all our diverse backgrounds and be able to come together and keep it together as a strong family unit?
Right.
So that's the kind of stuff that we're trying to address in this series.
Okay, Cleo, you're also in this TV series.
Yes.
What's your role in here? Are we going to see a fierce Cleo or a tamed and laid-back Cleo?
Actually, I like the character in this series because she's a bit different from who I am in actual life. I play the role of a girl called Leah, a woman called Leah, and she's married and she's loud and she's you know, argumentative and opinionated. I'm calm in reality, and Leah is just like obnoxious. Although she's weird. So, but I like playing her because it kind of took me to another zone, and I like the fact that it's a typically Ugandan series. So you know, you get to speak like, hey, what do you mean you're saying that? Eh? You know, you make it Ugandan, and I enjoyed it.
Interesting, interesting. Have you already shot the entire series, or you're still in the process?
The entire season is complete.
Brilliant.
Yes, so let's brace ourselves to watch for the next 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
How long did it take you guys to shoot the first season?
Filming itself took us about 3 weeks. It took us 3 weeks to film. Post-production took a little longer. Yeah.
So maximum, how many months are we looking at?
Post took us, I think, about another 4 or 5 months. to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
coming up with a season pretty much will take you 8 months-ish.
Yeah, if you want
To
to do
get
it right.
a good
yeah.
quality
It was
production.
done last year.
Yeah.
It was done last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was about to ask you, you had an afro.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
that fake hair or was it real?
It was real.
Oh,
yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Cleo, let
Yes.
me just ask you this question. And I've realized that you have a clique of girlfriends in that particular TV series. Just let us in on that. Do you feel that that is a reflection on what happens on a day-to-day basis with regards to, you know, how we interact as girlfriends, the influences that we have on each other, and the values that we stand for as, you know, girls in this particular generation? There's this thing going on Slay Queens. So what values are being brought about in this particular, you know, clique of girls that I'm seeing you in?
Now, you know, when it comes to relationships, a man and a woman or husband and wife, usually the woman always has her friends.
Right.
But in those friends, they're always the ones that are and the ones that are, you know, good influence. So in hashtag family, we're trying to show how friends can also be an influence on the decisions you make in your own relationships, and also how their presence, how often they are present in your life, in your relationship, can also have a toll on the couple. And you see that sometimes one of them gives advice, or another one is just like, oh girl, you just go for it. Or, you know, and it depends. You have to be, it gives you that thought of, you know, you have to be careful what you listen to. You have to be able to talk to your partner. You have to know what the two of you stand for. So it should always come family first. Then, you know, the friends can come in too, but you know, evaluate.
Right, right. Matthew, I've really noticed that this time around it's different. There are family values in there. But what would you want ideally the viewers to take home? What would you want the viewers to change in their lives thanks to them watching this particular TV series?
What I can say is that to a great extent, much as it's an entertaining show, it is also quite educative. So like in each episode, we tackle a particular topic. Like if from what you saw in the trailer, you're having this Frank and the wife arguing about who dropped her. I mean, the wife is young, she's vibrant, she loves her job.
Right.
So she's okay going to work with her boss late, innocently, and the boss drops her home because it's late. And this is an issue to Frank. First of all, you've come in late, you're my wife, you're coming home late, and your boss is dropping you of all people.
And you have a pet name.
What is going on? You even have a nickname for this. What is going on? So that these issues, sometimes they are real, sometimes they are not actually real, but those are the small issues that we tackle and see how best do you resolve such things.
Yeah, peer pressure as well.
The things that actually cause to a lot of divorce and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Peer pressure, Cleopatra. Let me just ask this. Is there anything wrong with your boss dropping you home, number one? I want you to play the moral police today so that people can understand that bit of the clip. And is there anything wrong with coming home late? Maybe it's an office meeting. Right now it's December and we're having a lot of office parties as well. So just tell us that so that the men can know, hey, my wife has been coming home late, so there's something wrong.
I think it has a lot first to do with trust and a lot to do with communication. Because if you let me know that this is going to happen, I'm running home late, I will be a bit patient. But maybe if it's frequent, I may get impatient. And also depending on who drops you can be a problem. Yes, it can be a problem.
Frequently.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, men are protective of their zones.
Right.
And I think even as a woman, you kind of get... You can be nervous about or suspicious about a situation that keeps recurring because you don't know what the other person's intentions are. So, but like you said, better communication in the relationship helps resolve such things.
Right, right. And Matthew, I'll drop this in. I know it's quite personal, but I mean, we all know this. You are working with your wife and you're acting with her as your wife still in the TV series. How is it working with your own you know, person?
Personally, I'll say I've had no problem with it. We've had no problem with it. I think first of all, I think it goes back to our passion. We both love film. We both understand film. And so it is easy for us to share a passion. We actually talk about film like 80% of our time.
Nice.
At home or work, we talk about film a lot. And then when it comes to the professional business, I think we've cut clear our roles. Most of the time I am producer, most of the time she's director, so she doesn't step in the producer space, I don't step in the director space. So, and we're kind of professional when it comes to this, and it's beautiful. We've managed to do it very
brilliant.
well.
And I can imagine this one, for this one, it was easy for you guys to play the characters because, I mean, in real life, you're husband and wife, so.
Yeah, sometimes we actually go like, like we just go like Matthew and Ellen at some point. I'm like, okay, we can just chill. Let's go back to Frank and Jackie. But it's so, yeah, it's so fun.
Okay, Cleo.
Yes.
Does acting pay in Uganda?
Now, acting in Uganda, does it pay? Now, that's a good question because, to be honest, I'll say I've acted in Kenya. I'll say that I get paid much more in Kenya than I get paid here. But also here, it depends on what the project is, how big the budget is. So some projects is like not so much, but you know, average. But when you as an actor need to have a rate. So usually the producers or whoever approaches you knows your rate and they kind of try to make sure they meet it or they are still within it. But there's some projects that really pay well here, and but if I'm to compare the two, Kenya and Uganda, Kenyans, I think it's because they've been doing film a lot more, and Uganda, we're still trying to find our feet. We're setting up the structure.
Right.
We now have an industry to talk about, honestly. So it's not about people don't want to pay, really. It's more about trying to make sure that there's an industry, and then you're trying to figure out how does it work, what's the structure, and also some of the filmmakers are willing to pay your worth, while others are like, you know, they're starting out and they're saying, you know what, just help me when it picks up, we'll be able to do this and that.
Right.
So yeah, it's all about negotiations and
okay.
presence.
Wait, you're talking about having a rate. So what's the least amount an actor can be paid for a production?
That is, I can't speak for all actors. You may find an actor who say the least I will get paid is 5 million for a project, or 5 million per episode, or 2 million for a film, and then you'll find one who say I'll take 200,000. So really, that's what I'm saying. It's all about knowing your rate, your value, what you're bringing to the table, what you're willing to work for, and you decide. You discuss that with the people who have approached you for the project.
Okay.
I can't really put a mark on it and say this is the amount.
All right.
Yeah.
Matthew, you're in the production space. You're the people who make things happen.
Yeah.
You're the people who look at the budgets for these productions. Where do you get the money from?
Yeah, where do we get the money from? Personally, I think if I'll talk on behalf of Nawisa Films, I think what we've done most of the time is we've done like gotten our personal savings to put into film, to invest into film. And it has not been easy getting like sponsors on board and stuff like that, but you see, once we determine we're going to do something, we will do it. We will we'll do whatever it takes to get the funds together, and we will do it. And we'll always make sure that everything is paid for, the crew is paid, the actors are paid, and we don't get paid now, but we will get paid.
Is there a return on investments most of the times?
Yeah, there is a return on investment. It's not as fast as we thought it would be in the beginning, but yeah, we've managed to do, because we did a feature film called Rain, and we sold it to an international distributor who has been selling it to broadcasters abroad. So that is how we make our return on investment. Locally, when it comes to feature films, not yet. I can't say, apart from doing cinema shows, which are not a guarantee yet, because we took Rain to the cinema for 3 weeks. Some days were good, other days were very bad.
In terms of turnout?
Yeah, in terms of that. But then we also had a partnership with an NGO that managed to pay to buy it, to use it in communities all over the place. So that's how we managed to make a return on investment.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. As we come to a close, Cleo, I want you to tell us this today. Of course, we're having so many wannabe actors who want to get into the space. How do you polish your skills as an actor?
The good thing is, I've grown up loving to act. Everything I do, I grew up loving it. I started from quite young, and we didn't have film schools in Uganda. Right now there's so many, okay, there are not so many, but there are about 5 maybe different film schools or institutions that can help teach film or, you know, directing and all that. So people should use that opportunity to go to those institutions, to those schools, to the university. There is a film course there now, which we never got a chance to have, and you can learn the skill, the techniques, especially to do with cinematography. And if it's acting, it usually helps when it's also inborn, you know, because you kind of have to, you don't want to be technical in front of the camera, but you can learn, you can have acting workshops, and those are offered also at National Theatre. There's Maisha, there's, you know, Nana Kaga does some workshops sometimes. Matthew, the Nawiso Films, they also hold workshops sometimes. So it's all about knowing where to go and just be on social media and look for all this information, know about the workshops, and read. Google is your friend. There's so much information out there. You can go on YouTube and watch clips and see how other actors who made it, what they did or how they did at auditions. So it's always good to know all these things.
Okay. And Matthew, let me ask you this. When you're doing auditions, what exactly do you look out for? Do you go for people who are real, who showcase their real character, or people who can be diverse and actually take up different characters and act them as if, you know, they're natural?
I think by the time we have auditions, we have a script, so we know exactly what we're looking for. So we always make that call for auditions, and we are looking for the person that can actually give us that character the way we are looking for it.
Okay, but it also pays to be yourself.
Yes. You've got to be as natural as possible.
Okay. All right, Cleo, I want you to let us in on this one. Fine, you say that you can't put a finger to, you know, the list an actor can be paid.
I can say what amount I think it should be.
Yes. Okay, tell us. What amount do you think should be? It should be
for actors. I think an actor shouldn't be paid less than, let's say for a film, an actor, if it were possible, I wouldn't want an actor to be paid less than 1.5 or 2 million for a film.
For a film?
Yes.
That takes how long?
Usually a film is shot in a month, or it can be, depending on how, if the money is available. The time lapse is always all about the money, and yes, if it's a short, it doesn't really have to matter about how long. Even if I'm shooting 2 days, you should pay me 2 million or 1.5 as an actor for a film. There should be a fee, because you know there's so much that we need to cater for. That's your work, that's your career. And then if you do with a series, per episode, maybe an actor should be getting, in Uganda, per episode, an actor should be earning about, you know, 2 million as well per episode. So that you find that with that, as time goes on, there is something, because you see most times an actor is paid as standard. And you don't get, there's no royalty fees. Like when the project now starts airing, let's say on NTV, does the actor keep getting some money, like in Hollywood? No. It stops on, you know, you get paid, the project, you shoot it, and that's it.
If the film makes more money,
if the film makes
you're
more
out
money,
of the deal.
Yeah, he's here. He can tell you you're out of the deal. If it goes, you know, so and that affects you as an actor, because you find that with time you're probably you're not going so far, and let's say the producers, the directors, or even crew, they have Mercedes. So that's why I'm saying that I think the standard fee should just be 2 million for a film, 2 million per episode.
All right. Okay. Matthew, is that unreasonably high?
I think she's spoken well for the actors, but then I think also certain things have to be put into consideration. For us to have a standard pay for actors, for instance, there are things that we need to put in place. Government needs to put in place a film commission.
That's
the film commission should set these standards. Whether films are being done locally or internationally, there's got to be a commission to set these standards. And I think also on the part of the actors, I know she talks about royalties and stuff, people also need to put their craft up. If you want certain kinds of demands, you've got to put your craft to a certain level to deserve that.
How do you go about putting your craft to the next level?
You've got to be great, you've got to be diverse, as a producer, I want to see if you are on my set, I'm not going to have to worry about anything. I know you are disciplined, you'll show up on time, you will have your dialogue, you know what to do, you make my work easy. Then you are worth paying that way.
Are
Yes,
we pushing
and,
to have a commission, Cleo? Have we tried to push to have a
Yeah,
commission?
we're trying. We're trying to work something out with the Ministry of Gender.
Oh, so it's something in the works.
Yeah,
It's something
yeah.
in the works.
Right.
And just to add on to his point, you know, with the royalties and all that, contracts, actors need to be able to negotiate their contracts better. You shouldn't always just take it as it is, because if you speak to the producer, sometimes they can listen to you. They can. So any contract is worth negotiating. So yeah.
Right. Matthew, let me ask you this, because I know you stand at a point whereby every entrepreneur stands. And they always say when it's coming to mid-month, end of the month, the most worried person in this land is the employer. Them that have to pay the bills, because your employees are expecting a salary. So when it comes to...
Whether they worked or not.
You know? So when it comes to that point where you really have to get this money, what's your technique in terms of trying to woo as many sponsors as possible? Do you do it after you started, you know, the production, after doing a teaser such that you show them the value, or you do it before? What's the plan like in terms of making sure that you have the monies?
We always try to do it before, even before we go to film. But then the challenge with sponsors locally, they don't believe in something until they have seen it on air, until they have seen ratings. So you've got to invest all the way, plan for people's salary, plan for everything before you go on air. So if it has taken you 1 year to go on air, you need to be paying people for 1 year before you get on air. And when you get on air, still there are no guarantees. But yeah, we take the risk.
We need people who believe in film and people who are willing, not even people, companies or you know, sponsors who are willing to actually support a project and see where it goes. Start with the project and grow with it. Be a part of it from the beginning, instead of just waiting for it to be big first and then you're like, okay, so now put our logo here and put, you know. We need people who are willing to take a chance.
My encouragement though is film is where music was about 20 years ago. 20 years ago, some musicians suffered like this, but time came that the money people got to believe in them. So we just have to showcase what we have, and once it shows figures, it shows numbers, I'm sure this is going to be history.
Let me ask you this. I know for music it's totally different, and that's why I think sponsors actually see value even before something happens. For example, if they want to sponsor a concert, they're actually tagging along with the numbers that are going to turn up. But how does it happen in film? Is it just product placement, of course, when you're shooting, or what value range is there for maybe someone watching today and they want to get into the sponsorship space for film? What value adds do they get as sponsors over and above product placements, what we always see?
I think it's mostly product placement, and then also I know they love events. So in the event that we're having events like cinema shows, if a beverage company comes on board as a sponsor, I mean, this is an event, you're having shows at the cinema, or you're going to have an outdoor show. I mean, sponsors can be able to bring their products to these events, and they can actually get actual engagements with the public.
Okay, brilliant. So as you come to a close, what should we be expecting in this TV series, in a nutshell? I'll start with Cleo.
Well, just expect entertainment from #family. Yeah, crazy drama, the stuff that you'll be like, oh yeah, that happens in my family. Or, oh yeah, I did that. Oh, this happened to me. It's relatable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matthew?
Yeah, I think like she said, entertainment and drama and more drama. Let's just prepare to have fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so the premiere is at what time again?
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Sunday.
This coming Sunday.
Yeah.
So look out for that. Thank you so much, Cleopatra Kohure. She is an actor in that particular series, and she's also a radio host, and Mr. Matthew Nabuiso, producer and actor. That has been it for Kickstarter segment A. Kickstarter still continues. Up next, we have a totally interesting, conversation, so look out for that. Don't go away.
You're watching Morning at NTV.